Everybody, this is Amanda. I'm really excited to show you something. I have been making masks, lots and lots and lots, for friends of mine that are in the healthcare profession, and I've had a couple people ask me for kid sizes, and or like the issue is coming up that we are running out of elastic here in America, which is crazy. I don't think we're running out, but like we can't find any elastic anywhere. So we're using all sorts of different sizes of elastic. We have the super thin little elastic like this that comes in like spools like this. We have larger elastic like this. You can actually cut this thicker elastic. You just run down one of the seam lines and you can make smaller bands of it. It won't fray. You can do that as well. And then you can also make adjustable adult or kid size masks with ribbon. And I'm going to show you really quick how I make my masks, and it's really, really fast. And usually you can get one done in about, I don't know, 5 to 9 minutes, just kind of depends on how fast you are. The first thing you're going to need to do is, here are the sizes. You're going to need to cut out fabric that is either 8 by 14 for a lady, 10 by 14 for an adult male, I do 8 by 14 also for kids, just because their faces vary, but you could even shrink that down to like 7 or 8 inches. So the 8-inch length is actually what goes across our face, like our nose would be right here. The 14-inch, what happens is we're gonna take the 14 inches, we're gonna fold it in half and put the right sides together, and we're gonna sew down. So it'll look like, sorry, I probably should have had this prep before I started, but I wasn't even thinking that this would be something to talk about, but I probably should talk about it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your long length, which is your 14-inch, and you're going to lay them together, seam sides together, pattern sides together, and you're gonna do a 1/4 inch seam right here, okay? You could go a little bit bigger if you're afraid to go really close, but that's all you're gonna need. And for the kid size, if you have really little kiddos, you can shrink this. You don't need to make it 14 inches. You saw how it kind of will end up looking like this, like accordion. You could make this like 12 inches. I would just play if you have very small kids, maybe an 8 by 12. But anyway, so once you're done with that, you're gonna, of course, you're gonna flip it right side out, like I had it. And then you're gonna go and you are gonna take your iron and you are gonna iron it flat, okay? You're gonna iron it flat, and then I do not measure. I just kind of, just eyeball it. Like I just kind of go up a little bit, fold it, iron it, go up a little bit, fold it, iron it, go up a little bit, fold it, iron it, so that I have like 3, it looks like 4 pleats, but it's actually 3 major pleats here. And then I just iron it flat, and I might flip it over depending on how heavyweight your fabric is. You just want to use cotton, something breathable. If it's really, really thick, it's going to be hard to breathe through. Remember, these masks are not to keep us from, they're not sterile. They're just to help remind us to wash our hands and keep our hands off our face, really. And for kiddos, it's the same thing. Like, hey, there's something going around. Don't touch your face. Don't touch, And but you are going to need to launder these just like you would your clothes. I would not use these day in and day out without laundering them, okay? And when you do launder them, I recommend putting them in a linen bag, like a mesh bag, or you could even shove them in a sock. I know that sounds weird. A clean sock. You don't have to put it in stinky, gross sock, but a clean sock. And then launder them that way, because the elastic or the ribbon is gonna get caught up in your clothes. So be careful that way. Okay, so here we go. We have pleated, we're ready to go. Take it to the sewing machine, and you are going to also want to cut out for yourself a couple of these kind of like, I don't know, they're like decorative sides. This is also the part that your elastic is gonna go through. And these are really simple. For every one of the lengths that I told you or size that I told you, this is a 5 by 1 3/4 inch. So it's 5 inches long and 1 3/4 inches long. I just go over when I'm ironing this, I fold it in half and I press it, okay? You'll need 2 of these for every mask, okay? So you're gonna go over to your sewing machine and you're going to take and do the open side. This is the open side of this to the open side of your mask, okay? Fold it over just a little bit, maybe like a little less than a 1/2 inch maybe. And you're going to pin it in place. And as you're pinning this across, I only need 3 pins. If you need more, use more, whatever. You are going to want to kind of scrunch it just a tiny bit, because you actually want your mask to kind of gather at the ear, back towards the ear. It just keeps it so that there's not a lot of gap there when you have it on. Cut off the excess. There's always going to be a little bit of an excess, and then fold over the remainder and pin it. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go over your sewing machine. It's all simple settings, straight stitch, easy peasy, coordinating thread if you wanna do coordinating thread. And you're gonna go at least 3/8 inch out. See how it says 3/8 right there? At least 3/8. Most of us that do sewing, we do 1/4 inch. We're gonna want 3/8 because we want a gap there so that we can feed our ribbon and or elastic through, okay? And then you're just gonna go ahead and make sure it goes back. I take my pins out as I sew because if not, my sewing machine will break its needle on the pins. I am notorious for breaking needles. So I just go through and then I make sure I backstitch. And then I am OCD, so I will have to cut these threads right now because it will drive me crazy. So I cut them, and then all you're gonna do is you're gonna pull up the side, okay? You don't need to shove anything down in there to get this up. If you just pull straight up, pull here, it'll come nice and straight up, okay? We're gonna do that again on the other side. Now, I will say this, I'm gonna add this in. Some people have access to pipe cleaners. Pipe cleaners are cool because what we can do is we can add this into our mask to make it so that we can have like a bendable brow right or where the nose is. This is kind of nice. I'll show you how to do that super quick. I'm just gonna do a 3/8 inch run down my fabric right here, all the way till it meets. You can do this at the beginning. I usually do, I'm sorry. I'm a little frazzled because I'm making a video, which is not something I normally do in my day-to-day. And I also don't want to take forever. So, okay, so there you go. So now we have this little trough where we can stick our, sorry, OCD with the threads. Okay, where we can stick our pipe cleaner, okay? So all I'm gonna do is bend up one side of it here, and then I just kind of measure how far across, and I usually will end it right there, like maybe about 1/2 inch before the end, and then cut it. You notice most of my stuff is like super haphazard because I don't have time to sit and measure a million times. Like that's just gonna take too long. Like people need these masks, our kids need these masks. Like I don't have time to sit and make them like, you know, like identical to each other, like perfect. They come out great. I'm sorry, I'm having a problem. Get in there. Okay, so I'm gonna push it through and then I'm just gonna try to feed it, try to feed it down there. Get in there. All right, and of course it's like hooked. See how it like wants to hook in there? Oh, come on. For the sake of demonstration, do we really need to do this right now? Okay, come on, my friend. There we go. Okay, sheesh. Okay, so usually doesn't give me that much of a problem. You should probably bend it more than I did and like fold it front and back, but whatever. Okay, so then we're gonna come up to this other side and we're gonna do the same thing, and that's Sweet Cheeks. And Sweet Cheeks is the sewing bird. Sweet Cheeks loves my sewing machine and anything that has to do with thread and or taking pins out of things or whatever. She just thinks that is like the best thing ever. So she might just get up in my face while I'm doing this. I don't know. Okay, fold it over like I had before. Get another pin. We're gonna sew up the same way we did before. Okay, so 3/8 inch up. Gotta make that little gap so we can feed our ribbon and or our elastic through. Okay, here we go. All right, we did that. Now, I'm gonna show you quickly how I do the elastic and whatnot. Here we go. Okay, pull it up again. Pull it up on that side, pull it up on that side. Okay, now we're gonna do this. We are going to fold this over this side. See what I did? See how I had, that's the nice side, this is the ghetto side. You're gonna take it, I kind of like see how I did that? I tucked that under and I pushed it, because if not, that little flap shows and it is really ugly and I don't like it. And I pull it so that I can see a little bit of that backside fabric kind of pull through. Get out of there, turkey. Get out of there. Okay, here we go. And then what I'm gonna do is same thing. I'm gonna sew as close as I can. So as close as I can to the seam here so that I can make a nice little trough. And I'm only gonna do one of these for the sake of you can see. All right, and then OCD is gonna kick in and I'm gonna have to cut these little threads. So cut here and cut here. Okay, both sides are gonna look exactly the same. Oh my gosh, this bugs me so much. Okay, both sides are gonna look exactly the same. You're gonna go and you're gonna sew the other side, same thing you just did here, but I wanna show you what I did. So what I have, where is my little thing? There it is. Okay, I have this really ghetto piece of wire. It doesn't matter what it is. I hope you have wire at your house because it's gonna make it a lot easier. And all you need to do is just make a little hook on one side. Okay, you're gonna feed it through, sorry. You're gonna feed it through. If it doesn't go through on that side, flip it, it's because of the pleat. Just go the other way, okay? Uh-oh, just kidding. Or be done. Okay, just kidding, there we go. And I have 2 pieces of elastic already cut that I believe my bird has moved. Sweet Cheeks, where did you put the elastic? There it is, on the floor. Of course, thanks. Okay, I have about 10 inches of this like tubey elastic. 10 inches of this tubey elastic. And all I do is just hook it like right there, like that, and just pull it back through. Hold this one side. You don't want it to go anywhere. And that's it. And you just kind of do one of these little like, you know, simple little knot that's causing me a problem. Simple little knot that I can't see what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. And that's my other bird, that's Sunny. And Sunny could care less about what I'm doing here. Oh my gosh, people. You're like, oh, she can sew. Oh, she can do this other stuff, but she can't make a simple knot. No, I can't, because I've done so many of these today, my brain is like mush. Okay, here we go. Done. There's my knot. Okay. Now, the cool thing is you have made it so it's adjustable. So all you have to do is just undo this. If you need it longer, then make a longer one. But and then you can kind of like hide it. You know, once you got it, you know, on the kid's head and you adjust it and whatever, you can hide it and it can go in here and then it's not ugly and sticking out and whatever. And you can also do that with ribbon. You're just gonna have to tie a nice knot and then it'll always be whoever's, you know, mask. So that's it. 11 minutes. Thanks for watching, and I really hope that this helps me. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions. Look at, see, and she's trying to end my life with pins. She's terrible. All right, well, Sweet Cheeks and Amanda are out. We'll talk to you later. Bye.